Hi, it's Jan, also known as Urban Gypsy Crochet at times, coming to you from beautiful, well, not beautiful, peeing down, absolutely peeing it down here in Fleetwood. I have not been out because I'm sick to death of getting wet through. I've been wet through all week. Oh dear. And my scooter broke down, which didn't help, did it? It went through what I can only describe as a mini sand dune, and I got stuck. And I got pushed off by two beautiful people, pushed me out of it, but after that it was a bit dicey, and it kept cutting out. And not only did it cut out, when I got it going, it was going on its own without me pressing the accelerator lever, which was a bit disconcerting for a poor lady who was walking her dog and going, "Out of the way, please, I can't stop." And she was giving me this very dirty look, you know, as I say, bloody mobility scooter people. Anyway, I got it going, I limped it home, and I had to call at the co-op for some milk on the way home. So I came, as I thought, gently to a halt outside of the co-op. No, slap bang into the litter bin. Everybody's going, "Oh my God, you know, women drivers can't drive a scooter." Anyway, it's gone back to wherever it goes to, and they've lent me. I've got the old whiner, the old groaner back again. The one that goes, "Wee!" And everybody has to move out of the way because they wonder what on earth's coming up behind them, you know, makes such a noise. Yeah. Anyway, I digress. What I did promise you was a video from Yarndale. Didn't happen. I know it was in a cattle market or auction or whatever, yeah, and I was expecting that. But I had my mobility scooter that had the tiny little wheels, yeah, tiny wheels, yeah, no suspension. No room on it to stretch my knees out. So I couldn't have done a video because when you're going like that, all the ruts, I mean, they have to have it uneven, I presume, so the cattle won't slip, yeah. And everywhere was gullies, which are there when they want to rinse away, let's just say, the debris that cows may leave behind when they're nervous, yeah. So every stall was like in a cattle grid. And kind of, if they'd only paid for one stall, which a lot of the people had, because I presume they were quite expensive, I couldn't get in. Because on my scooter I would have had to go down a gully and up a gully, which could have tipped me over at any minute to get into the stall. And also because the stalls were narrow and they had, like, obviously shelves or whatever all the way around them to display their wares, people were in, I couldn't get in, you know. I would have had to stop outside, get off my scooter and go inside and, like, have a look. So I got to the stage where I was overwhelmed, overtired, fed up, and sick of looking at hanks and hanks and hanks, or skeins and skeins and skeins of hand-dyed yarn. And believe me, when you've gone past about 25 stalls, all selling hand-dyed yarn, you get to the stage where it all starts to look, it starts to blur into one, and it all starts looking the same, yeah. And as you know, I hadn't gone to buy hand-dyed yarn because it is kind of out of my pocket. I mean, it's okay if you knit socks. I mean, I had gone intending to buy one nice skein to make maybe some you know, finger warmers, what you call them, hand warmers. I did get a lovely pair actually that I bought actually from eBay. Didn't buy them from, yeah. But what I did buy was, I did meet Linda Simpson. She's got a very nice channel if you want to go and watch her on YouTube. I met Linda at the stall where I bought the shawl patterns from, which was called Vicky Brown. She had very nice shawls and she had very nice crochet socks. Having said that, I have one massive complaint. Yeah, massive complaint. As a crocheter, I watched about 70% of people who were wearing beautiful handmade garments walk past me. Crocheted. 70% crocheted. How many stalls with crochet on them? About 3. And I was talking to a lady who did hand dyed, and she's going, well, why would you feel like you were a second class citizen? I said, because every stall I'm going past, I said, is hand knit this, hand knit that, beautifully hand knitted. I have to say, beautifully hand knitted. But when you're not a knitter as such, you know, there was hardly anything crocheted. Vicky Brown was one of the only ones that had a crochet stall. Everything was crochet, yeah, everything. Other stalls maybe had one thing that was crocheted, and that was about it, yeah. So there was Vicky Brown, and then there was a lady called Janie Crowfoot, or Janie Crow, or whatever. Whatever she goes by. She goes by Janie Crow Junk. I'll show you the books in a minute anyway. She was one of the only ones with crochet. I think it's a missed opportunity. Hand dyers, I don't know, they sort of give me the impression they're a little bit snobby. They're only interested in you buying their beautiful yarns to knit something with. I mean, there was some beautiful, there was Fair Isle, or you call it colour coding or colour work in America. There was Fair Isle upon Fair Isle upon Fair Isle. It must be the in thing this year. Beautiful, beautiful things. But, I mean, when you're considering that some of the yarn range from £15 a skein to £30 a skein, and some of the Fair Isle garments were maybe using 10 or 12 colours, it's a lot of money. We're talking here now about people being worried about money, people being worried about their electric bills, their gas bills going up, people being worried about their mortgages going up, things like that. You know, it's a limited market, isn't it, really? But what I was digressing again, what I was trying to say was, if I was hand dyeing yarn, I was thinking, crocheters, they crochet faster, they use more yarn. Let's get that audience in. They're missing a huge opportunity there. But no, they just want to stick. I've always felt that crochet has been a second-class citizen kind of thing. It's like, oh, you crochet, do you know. It's like knitting is far superior, you know. I'm sorry, but crafts are crafts. You do what you like to do. I like to crochet. Other people like to knit. I'm not knocking them. I'm not knocking the knitters at all. If you love knitting and you love knitting socks, then that's what you love to do. That's fine. But why should we be made to feel as though we're little second? Oh, you crochet, do you? My granny used to crochet. You make doilies, do you? You make blankets. Well, you're making a scarf. And yet there were some fantastic garments walking past me in crochet. I didn't obviously like to take a photograph of them. I'll stop them and say, excuse me, madam, can I take a photograph of your jumper because it's so gorgeous. There were some utterly gorgeous sweaters, cardigans, shawls, walking past me with crochet. Hand dyers, you are missing the market there. Anyway, I'll show you what I did actually buy. Yeah. Vicky Brown, very nice young lady. I spoke to her, very nice young lady. That's one of her shawl patterns. She was doing an offer on, there were £4 each or 3 for £10, so I had to buy 3. Some of the patterns, my God. Crochet patterns, there was about 6 crochet patterns on one stall. £10 each. They weren't fantastic patterns, they were single leaflet patterns, they weren't tutorials, they weren't, I thought, pfft, walking past them, yeah. Anyway, that one, what I liked about this store was she actually had them all made up, yeah. So I could look at them before, you know, I bought the pattern. Yeah. That's another one that's called Boo Shawl, the Boo Shawl. The other one was Kaleidoscope. They're all done in, I presume, a hand-dyed yarn, but you can do them in any other. They're 100 grams of sock yarn. I mean, admittedly, you know, she was dyeing her own, so she was flogging her own wool, which you can't blame the woman. That's called the Neona shawl. Yeah, and I did buy 2. What I would like to call coffee table books, because I will never ever use them. Oh, there were people when I put them on Facebook. What, you're making a blanket? Oh, how much would you make a blanket for? I'm like, no, I'm not even making a blanket for me. Yeah, they are gorgeous. They are really, really gorgeous. These will no doubt finish up as somebody's Christmas present because I will never do them. Never do them. They are fantastic. They are works of art, as you can see. Works of art. I have no patience whatsoever to do them. My friend was trying to say to me, make a cushion, and I'm going, no. Not with the dogs. I'm not making a cushion with the dogs. But she was saying, oh, you can make one for me. I went like, yeah, full of tricks like that, yeah. I mean, they are pretty. You've got, I will hold my hand up and say, well, can you see? No, you can't see because I'm holding it in the wrong place. They are beautiful. They are gorgeous. They are works of art. They are something you would probably only ever make one in a lifetime. But sadly, you won't see anything, me making any of them. I do not have the patience. Maybe when I was younger I would have had the patience, but I mean, just look how many colours are in one of the squares to tick off. You know, look how many colours are in the squares. Anyway, if anybody is interested in the book, it's by Janie Crow. It says, or she's called Jane Crowfoot, whichever way round it is. This one's called The Fruit Garden Crochet Blanket, and I paid $14.95 for the book. So I spent £15 on a book I will never ever use, but that's by the by, isn't it? I also bought a second book from the lady, which is called Bohemian Blooms. Which, you know, me being Bohemian Boho, I was attracted by the actual sort of title of the book, yeah. And they are beautiful. I mean, I will hold my hand up, they are beautiful. But as for having the patience, no. I just don't. You know, you'd sit all night, on 2 or 3 nights, don't you, just to make one square. You know, and you know, all those different colours you'd have to have. But it's alright saying you can use your oddments up, but you would never have the oddments in the right colours, would you? You'd have to dedicate yourself to, right, I am going to make it, I am going to buy every single colour that I need, which could be quite a lot of colours. So sadly, that's what I bought. Oh, and I also got a back copy of Inside Crochet, because they were there flogging their wares, wanting you to take a subscription out, which I won't do. I prefer to buy just the ones I want, yeah. I may do well, I won't do a review of this book actually, because it's an old one, so it's a back copy, so there's no point me doing a review. The reason why I bought it was they had this sweater made up at the back of the stall. And you know me and my bright colours, I quite liked it. So that's the only reason why I bought this back copy. It's actually, I think it's 150, which is way back when it's out of that copy. But I'm not doing a review on it because, as I say, I don't know whether you can probably still get it, it's a back copy. But I mean, anybody who does amigurumis, isn't that fantastic? I don't do them, but one of my friends who goes to knit club, she says she's going to do it, but she's, you know, a whiz at amigurumis, which, nah, I am not. Oh, hello. My PC's on in the background. I was watching Crochet Rocks, I was watching before, so I've paused her while I did this. I thought, well, I'll do it while it's still a bit daylight, because it's been absolutely flogging it down with rain ever since. I think we've got the tail end of Hurricane Ian over here, yeah. Which is very funny because my son's called that. Not a hurricane, it's called Ian. This is what I've just made, which is one of those cakes I bought, you know, from eBay. It's 50% cotton, 50% whatever, wool I think or something. Slightly unusual colour changes, but this is the way it came in the cake. Yeah. So I've made that. This will be on sale at my craft fair, and after that on the web page. I still haven't made it. Well, it's made. My friend made it for me. My friend Sarah made it for me. She's helping me with crochet and things for this fair because we're sharing the stall between us. She's made an absolutely fabulous shawl in one of these cakes that's all shades of like green. Oh, should have took a photo, shouldn't I? I will. I'll take a photo. She's going to bring it next week because a lady at Knit Club expressed an interest in it, and I said, sell it to her, sell it to her. We may not sell it on the stall, get it sold. Right, I was going to show you what I've been buying. Yes, I've been on eBay buying, you know what I'm like. I get rid of a load of stuff, I buy a load of stuff. This I bought, I haven't even looked at it yet. I haven't even felt it, don't know what it feels like. Oh, let me open the bag, sorry for crinkling people, but it was Katia, Alaska. It's sort of a grey, but it's got a very slight, I don't know whether it's my eyesight or what, but it's got kind of a slightly light, sort of lilac-y shade to it. They call it, what do they call it? No, just says colour 14. Not very descriptive, are they, colour 14? Anyway, I got 10 balls of it. Virtually, it's 100 gram balls, but it virtually costs, I think, about £1 something a ball. Can't knock it, can you? I only get bargains on eBay, I must admit. I don't like to pay for a lot. I've got another load of these cakes coming in all different colours. I'm talking about cakes. I'm still in the middle of doing another one, which is a different pattern. And it's got a slightly strange colour change to it. You know, it's not colours I would have put together. I would have graduated it or graded it. But people have said they liked it. And I've still got a little bit left. It's sort of going into a bit of a grey, purpley colour at the end. I don't know where the hook's gone. The hook's disappeared. It's from an old book called The Weekend Shawls, which anybody can make one of these in a weekend. You're a better man than I am, Gunga Ding, yeah. I've made this shawl pattern many times, but always in a much thicker yarn. It's called the 5-point diamond shawl. So I'm a bit not disappointed with the way it's turning out. It's turning out a little bit flimsy to me, but I started sort of finish, if you know what I mean. I'd taken it with me to do on the coach because we had a coach trip to Yarndale and back, so I was very fortunate really because it wasn't packed, the coach, so I had 2 seats, you know, for myself, so I could like spread out with my crochet, which was great because you know me, like with my knees, I can't stand being confined with my knees. And so I had loads of room to do my crochet on the way there and on the way back. Yeah, it says make it in a weekend shawl. It was a leisure arts book, but I have had it some time. It has got some lovely patterns in it, if you can see them. I mean, there's one in particular that is really pretty. I haven't made it. But everybody else that's seen it, spotted it, said, oh, I like that, yeah. It's called the Faroese, or Faroese shawl. Faroese, how you spelt it. And that's the picture. It's really pretty, that, isn't it? But I've never done it, yeah. But as for it being making a weekend, I think they're pushing it a bit with that one. Anyway, I'll go on to what else I've bought. You know me, bid on anything if it's cheap. If it goes too expensive, stop bidding. That's the way to do it, girls. On buys. I got 10 100 gram balls of this vintage cotton in all different shades. It's, I don't know who it's made by. It's recycled cotton, but it's still quite soft. It's firm, but it's quite soft in a way. But it's not something you would really put for a baby or anything, you know, it's not that soft. It's 80% recycled cotton, 20% other fibres, made under licence in Turkey for Knitco Wholesale Limited, whoever they are. Anyway, I managed to get 10 of these in all different colours for just over £10. And that was kind of with the postage. So I was like, yes. Success. So there was that purpley colour. There's a lilac shade. We've got a grey. And we've got another grey, but it's a pale grey. We've got a very sort of luminous green, yellow, green, whatever you see it as. I see it as green. Very luminous. What else have we got in here? Oh, and a delicate shade of green, more like an apple green, isn't it? Come here, there's more. Bluebell. Three more there is. Beautiful shade of pink, which is like a rose pink, dusky rose pink. All of these, don't forget, all of these for a tenner. And there is a definite rose pink. And the last but not least, it's sort of almost a denim blue. I have no idea what I'm going to make with them because, as I said before on Facebook, washcloths don't sell in the UK. Somebody else put a comment on saying that she was in the, I think she was Australia or somewhere. She said they didn't want to know there. And as for towel toppers, everybody has hysterics when I mention a towel topper over in the UK. And I know you sell a load of them in the US, but everybody goes, towel toppers. Show them a picture and they have hysterics. They think it's the funniest thing ever. And they go, well, how can you hot wash a towel with that thing stuck on the top of it? It's all crunched up. And I go, I don't know. No, I've never seen the point of them myself either. And as for washcloths, I made a little set. I did a craft fair, did a beautiful set, all in pastel shades, tied them with a ribbon, put some handmade soap, a beautiful handmade soap with each one. Not a sniff. Nobody was interested. One of my nieces loves them. She loves them. She loves them all. The kids love them and everything. The other niece, you could tell she wasn't keen. And I think it was my sister-in-law asked me, was it a floor mop, you know. So I can honestly say that I used to use them when I was living on my own at home, but my daughter-in-law wouldn't thank me. She likes something that she can throw away when she's used it 3 times, you know. She doesn't want anything you can put in the hot wash. She doesn't want to know. So, it's different countries, isn't it? I look at these, what would you make for a craft fair? The ones that are in America, yeah? What would you make? These are good sellers in America. You put these on your stall, they'll walk away. Put them on the stall in the UK. Nobody wants to know. They go, oh, what are they? Oh, really? Yeah? No. We are completely a different breed of people over here in the UK, sorry. Even I'm moving my continents now. Anyway, I'm trying to persuade my scooter man. I've got 12 months left on the contract. I rent my scooter, pay rental through, my disability. And I'm trying to persuade him to break my contract because I've got about 12 months left to go and get me one with a canopy. Oh, hello, who wants me? With a canopy because I am so sick of getting wet through. And we're only at the beginning of the winter, aren't we? And I'm going to get all the bad weather. Oh, afternoon treats. She's not doing much knitting these moments. The Art Paper Joy, my second channel, and the one I do follow, it's about 2 little very elderly dogs called The Adventures of Buster, Princess Mia, and he adopted these very elderly Staffordshire Bull Terriers that were kind of like expected to be at the tail end of their life. And he does these very, very amusing like little videos and little things on Facebook about the antics they get up to. I mean, they're 15 or 18 or something like that, these dogs. They're not chicken dogs, you know. And they were expected to have passed away long ago, but he gives them such great care. You know, he really looks after these dogs. It's like the guy with the chihuahuas. I love watching him. He takes on chihuahuas that are so poorly. You know, they've got so many issues and things like that. And he has about 30 of them. It's called Big Guy Little Dogs or something like that, he is, honestly. And I love watching them. He absolutely adores these little chihuahuas. And I love anything like that. You know, when people take on an animal that's like nobody else wants, on its last legs, and, you know, it's expected to die at any minute, and they like get 2 or 3 more years out of them, and you give them such a happy little life, and you think, oh, you know, that's so nice. You know, why go buy a pedigree dog? Pay thousands of dollars for a pedigree dog when there's so many beautiful dogs out there, desperately looking for a home, you know. I think if I had loads and loads of money, I'd have one of those big crashes, you know, like hundreds of dogs running around. You know, and not to say anything about cats either, because I quite like cats as well. I've not had a cat for a long, long time actually, but I do like quite a cat. And I actually could do with a cat at the moment. I was in the bathroom, sitting there. I won't discuss what I was doing, but I was sitting there. And I saw this little thing under the door, and I thought, oh, Rosie's putting a paw, you know, under the door. I thought, she'd never done that before. And then I looked again and I thought, put your glasses on. Put your glasses on, Janet. That is a mouse. It's got eyes. And it was looking at me underneath the door. And then it turned around and its little tail disappeared. And I'm like, oh. So I'm going to my son. We got a mouse. He's going, oh, for goodness sake, calm down. It's a mouse. We have the doors open for the dogs. A mouse is bound to come in at some stage or another. And I'm like, well, get rid of it. Get rid of it. I don't want it. But come to think, little Rosie has been sniffing all around my sofa for days now. And sniffing, sniffing, sniffing all around everywhere. So whether it was in here to start off with, I don't know. And I've been asking my son to move the sofa. But he hasn't, because it's a great big L-shaped sofa and it's heavy, you know. So I'm hoping it's not. But Rosie came in here today when they went out shopping in all the rain and whatever. And she didn't bother sniffing, so obviously wherever the mouse is gone, the mouse is... Maybe it's gone back outside again, I don't know. But I can't blame it if it's coming, because the weather's been dire. But having said that, I'm just looking out of the window now and the sun's come out. It's been absolutely legging it down with rain. Torrential rain we've had. And now the flipping sun's come out. And I'm like, oh, whatever, whatever. There's a guy walking a little elderly dog. It's plod, 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 plod. There's a lot of elderly dogs around here. He's going along like dragging it along, and it's sort of like, give me time, I'll make it in my own time, I'll come along when I'm ready. We've got young dogs, you see, so I'm not used to having the old dogs. I mean, my Buster, before he passed away, he was very elderly, and he used to like put one foot in front of the other foot. You know, we used to walk at a very leisurely pace, which was good because, I mean, my walking was terrible even when I had Buster. But I mean, at the end I had to have a dog walker for him because I just couldn't manage it. Because he loved to go into the woodland at the bottom of the street. And it's like uphill, down dale, and when it had been raining it was lethal because it was slippy. Because they were proper earth paths. They weren't paths with, you know, tarmac or whatever you want to call it, bitumen. They weren't paths like that. They were hard-pressed sort of earth paths. But when it rained heavy, they could get very, very slippy. So I didn't like to walk in when it had been, you know, slippy, raining. So, oh, there's my telling me to shut up because it's 30 minutes. Anyway, sorry there was no video about Yarndale.